Hello and welcome back to the Vintage Unicorn. Today is episode 3 of my alternative makeup looks, my Twinkle Grunge Tsunami Bomb alternative Smoky Eye. So with that said, I have a new subscribe song just for this episode, and let's sing it. Something isn't right, something's got you down. You feel mechanical with all those gurus in town. You're one of us and all of us are gonna listen to you complain. You better smash that button and we'll be through with you. Don't be afraid. Okay, that was it. So thank you so much, and we're gonna get right into the makeup. Mwah. All right, let's get into it. Day 3 of my 10 days of alternative looks, and today I'm going to be doing the Britpop look, which is an alternative to the classic Smoky Eye. So I'm gonna jump right on in, start doing the skin. Not a whole lot on my skin today. I used a mask today and it like solved my problems, everything. I'm really happy with how my skin looks right now, just from a face mask. So I really don't wanna mess with that too much. Oh my gosh, my skin feels so nice. And it was actually just a Neutrogena mask. It was the Neutrogena, what was it? It was like a seaweed mask to clear and clean and perfect, and I think it had like some tone brightening aspect to it. I've been doing masks every day, and especially during the summer, focusing on moisture, and I'm sure I will in the winter as well, but it's really been helping me avoid getting sunburned. My cat is going crazy right next to me. Ooh, news. I am going to be, they're on their way. I ordered some umbrella lights to go around and a new backdrop for behind. So things are going to be just a little bit more professional. I'm gonna up the production value a little bit because I just have a good feeling. I can't tell myself this isn't going to succeed because I know it is. I know it is. All right, so the first thing I want to do, instead of going straight in with eyeshadow, is I want to kind of fix up my brows. I have a lot of problems, particularly with this brow, and though for this look I would want to stay a little bit on the unkempt line, I'm worried that my weird brow will not cooperate regardless. Like that brow, that's it. I love it. But this brow here, I don't know what it is. I haven't plucked it in like probably 4 weeks now, and it's still just being funky. It just doesn't want to be my eyebrow. It wants to go somewhere else, and I get that. It doesn't want to deal, it's okay, but you know what? It's gotta hang. It's my eyebrow. So I'm gonna go and try very gently to go in with a wax side, and I am still waiting on the Kat Von D brow pomade, which I'm very excited to use. Otherwise, in future videos I may just stick to my ABH brow dip if I need my brows to be any kind of way. So that kind of cleaned it up, matched it up to the other side nicely. This side's a little bit fluffier, which I think I can work with the spoolie, but overall I think they look pretty alright for this look. It's just a funky brow, and this is the one with the scars. I don't know, like would this be funky if I didn't have a scar? I don't know. So I'm going to start off by going with a little bit of gel liner. This is in the shade Smoke from Ulta. Any gray liner will really work out. Looks like I still have a little bit on from the makeup I was wearing pre-mask. That's okay though. Just to fill in that waterline so I can get a clear picture of what I'm doing. This is going to be very similar to a Grunge Eye, and I was tempted to name this something else. I decided not to. I decided it would be in poor taste, so I'm just going to call it my Tsunami Bomb Eye. So I'm going to go straight in with a flat brush. This is my Scone small shadow brush, and go in with the color Dawn from the Subculture ABH palette, just to give an even workspace. Bring everything down to the same tone, all the way from brow bone to lash line, and leaving it a little messy. Giving a clean wash, staying a little bit messy. I did a test just a few minutes ago to determine what palette I wanted to use, and what I did was I took the Venus 2 and put it up against the Subculture because they do have a lot of very similar colors, and it was ridiculous how similar, but also ridiculous how much more pigmented the Subculture palette was. So that's good in some ways and that's not so great in other ways. So what I want to do is go straight in with the color Mercury on a fluffy small blending brush. I have one that I just set out, or maybe I didn't. There we go. Nice little blending brush. This is not a Morphe, it's just a domed small blending brush. We're adding a little bit on the tip with the color Mercury off the Subculture palette and building that into the crease just a little bit, small circles to add a little bit of depth. I don't know if this brush wants to work like this. And I did not use primer. No, I did not. I want this look to slip on its own. I want it to incorporate naturally. And I just didn't want to use primer. Kind of thinking I should have now. But we'll see if my idea is the correct one or if it's not quite. So going in on this side, I'm always like super timid on one side, and then when I go in on the other, I'm like, just go for it, you know what it's gonna do. So I go back in on the other side and match it. And I'm like, I'm so nervous, just touch, there it is. Okay, there's the pigment I was looking for. I don't know why I just barely touched it. I still only dipped it on this side, but just building up to a little bit of a natural shadow in the crease. And I want it to be messy, so I'm going to work that under the lash line as well. All right, we are on our way to our Tsunami Bomb look. What would I call Tsunami Bomb? Like kind of a punk grunge look. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. So now I'm going to dip straight into Destiny. It is a muted emerald jewel green, and I just want to start bringing that color around, keeping inside that line I've just made, and begin darkening the outer. And then very, very gently bring the same color into the inner lash line, but focusing the pigment to the outer lash line. Going in on the other side. This is looking a hot mess. I need to do some serious blending here. Okay, so that needs to be blended like 10,000 times over. Man, I knew I wanted messy. I didn't know I wanted mud slick. Sticking with those greens and browns, I think there's no way it couldn't be muddy, but muddy and patchy don't work together. So there we go, just leaving that for now because I'm about to make it really pop. Dipping into Axis on the pointed pencil precision brush from Morphe, which is the M321. Tapping off that extra because this is a pop color. And I really want to build in the upper lower lash line, so almost like a 3. And that's all I want to apply because I will be tempted to add more, but there is plenty of pigment on there already to blend out this look into what I'm thinking. Just using the very tip of this large blending brush from Morphe, M330, and incorporating that green evenly, making sure that there are no harsh lines, no patchiness, which may be quite a task. It may take a while, but I feel like the payoff will be there when I'm done. There's plenty of pigment on that eye. I do not need to add more. It's just telling that pigment where you want it to go and where you don't want it to go. All right, so there's that. On the other eye, doing the same thing. Being careful not to add too much on this side. Let's not get too cocky there. 1, 2, 3, little E motion. I just poked myself in the eye. That's all right. So the green is there, going in again and really blending it out. This isn't dissimilar from the kind of makeup that I generally wear every day. I've kind of been really into the color lately, so I'm not abandoning the color, I'm just putting it on in a slightly different way. Instead of defining the color clearly, kind of just messing it all in together. And this is very similar to how I've done my makeup probably my entire life, only I would usually complement this with a little bit of a wing. I won't be doing that today. Getting the lid nicely blended into that. And I actually need a little bit more of a precise blender. So I am going to grab the little guy, M506 blending brush, one of the best blending brushes I have ever used. It is tiny, it is microscopic, it is precise, and it really grabs and moves that pigment that is on your eye so that there isn't patchiness or anything else like that. But I also want this to be messy. I want this to be, you know, as Sam and Nick from Pixie Woo would say, I want it to be slept in. I want it to be not pretty, but pretty. So I think that's enough as far as eyeshadow goes. If I go any further, I will regret it. So putting the Subculture away. Am I the only one who keeps boxes? I have this thing about cartons. Like everything I have, literally everything I have is still in its box. Like, this is what I'm looking at right in front of me. Boxes. And if I can't keep it in the box, then believe me, I have a drawer full of boxes. I love my boxes. I don't know why, but all right. So now what I'm going to do is taking that smoke liner, starting to darken up the upper lash line so that I can blend that up and in and clean it out a little bit. Do you remember back in the day when you would like take your cold pencil and like use a lighter? It's kind of what I'm wanting to do, but they make such nice gel liners now. I am taking it up into the crease just in a patchy way, not in like a perfect moon, but in a patchy way just to fill in so that I can now go back in with that small blender and really get it going. Get it smoked out, get it dark. Oh, and I can feel that. That's nice. Just a million dark circles. So give me a moment because I'm going to be blending for a minute and I don't want you guys to have to wait 1 second. All right, there it is. I'm loving it. Now, I do believe that blush and highlighter are always optional, though I do want to contour a little bit and kind of create a false highlight effect by bringing my corrective stick just around the bottom there, as well as a little bit along the jawline. And then I will put the contour just below it, taking the Beauty Blender and blending that in and using any excess to clean up some of the areas I tend to have problems. I don't think I'm going to use blush with this look. I will see how it looks without highlighter. But I mean, we're talking late 90s pop punk grunge era. I don't think a lot of people were rocking the highlighter to the Tsunami Bomb shows. But I do want to be matte. So that's happening here in a minute. Contour, I am going to be going in with the Matchstick Rihanna Amber and just putting a little bit in the hollows of my cheeks, kind of where I can see there's kind of a natural line on my face where I see where I could accentuate it. And I'm just going to take a small fluffy brush and work that into the skin, bringing it a little bit in, but not too far in that it looks like I have jowls. And in the Making Faces book, Kevin Aquan talks about knowing your bone structure, and you can feel where you're rubbing. You can feel the hollow in your cheek. And that's where I try to keep my contour, because that's where the shadow is naturally going to catch. And this is just going to amp it up a little bit, give me a little bit more of a chiseled look. and then use a little bit here and here. There is still plenty of product, incorporating it into that white. There's still plenty of product on the brush without adding extra. All right, now Wowder. The Wowder, not a powder. It is a powder, it's powder. I don't know why they say it's not a powder, because it's a powder. But I mean, it's a nice powder. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and use the Beauty Blender on this and dig into that mesh there. And I did get a nice little amount, and just start going in to get that matte effect. Because previous attempts with the brush only produced half of the effect that I wanted to really set everything in place, and I'm just going to continue and also cleaning up along the way. Now that I've set some down with the Beauty Blender, I'm going to grab a smaller fluffy brush than I've been working with, because I think that was kind of the problem. I looked at the Wowder brush and this is very similar. It's just your average kind of blush brush. It's not branded. And I'm going to dig into that mesh because that way it's a little smaller. I can get into the mesh. The larger brush just wasn't giving me anything. Dig it around and just start going in there again. And as I push into the mesh, I can see the product coming up like almost in a smoke. So that's nice. Getting it on my nose, any areas that I think I might have some problems later in the day. On the forehead there. Coming down a little bit. All right, and the Wowder has done its wow job. And I feel very pretty, and my skin looks fairly even toned, which is nice. I just felt horrible this morning. I really did. I was just like sick. And then I woke up and I was like, makeup, I said 10 days in a row. So I am gonna do 10 days in a row. Now, no more eye stuff. The eyes are good. I am now going to get into the lips. So I'm gonna go do a lip scrub real quick, just so that I can get a nice even tone. So just using a little bit of sugar scrub on top of where I've already done it, because I can feel some dryness, and I will be right back. All right, lips are scrubbed and feeling fantastic because I'm going to be using a nude. I'm going to be using this Jeffree Star Butt Naked. Yeah. Flipping that tongue, the lip ring around. And I love this color. Kitty, if you knock anything down, good girl, just slide just like that. Okay, now that I've set this down, this stuff dries so nicely. It really dries, you know, almost immediately. I want to just line using a MAC liner pencil. This is the Boldly Bare Nude Lip Pencil. I just want to create a barrier in some of the areas. Not visible, but just so that I know it's there, so that there won't be slippage. Doing the opposite, putting the lip liner on afterwards, is kind of something that I like to do, especially when I'm doing a nude lip, so that my lips don't completely disappear. So last thing is going to be lashes, and I am going to be using strip lashes again because I really enjoyed them yesterday. I'm going to try this Sugar Pill set, which is called Daydreamer, and a little bit of my Kush mascara, and I will be right back. All right, so here we have it, the finished look with a little bit of a nude lip, some dark eyes, a little bit of glitter, and some big lashes. Final step is I'm gonna use Urban Decay. I actually like this cheap little setting spray. It's by Essence, and I'm just gonna do a little bit so I don't come home covered in glitter. All right. So thank you so much. I'm gonna keep popping out these videos. I really, really want this channel to grow. I think I have something really cool here, and I love you guys who continue to support me. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe. There's going to be an icon right about here. So if you click that, then you can subscribe. Also, I will have other videos in this general area. All right, thank you so much. Also, let me know what you think of my new subscribe songs. All right, stay beautiful. Mwah.